Hello, amazing people. How are we? Today is hump day, I do believe. Type the word 700 to book a call, right? So, my thing is credibility, right? I want to answer any questions that you may have. Do you have any business funding questions? Salute. I like that. So do we have any business funding credit questions? Anything? Where are we? Where are you stuck? Give me like something nice and juicy. That's when you learn more, right? But what I've been running into is a lot of people just not even fully understanding the importance of credibility. What is credibility? Credibility is truthful and believable. But if you have any questions, I want to hop on here and answer any questions you may have. Let's hope you do. Because a lot of you, we just scroll, we just see what's going on live. But I'm telling you, you can scroll past someone, click on something, and it change your life. That's what happened to me. I was scrolling. The guy was like, hey, I'll get rid of your bankruptcy. I'm like, sure, really? And it happened. That's why I'm here. So for those of you, I'm here today to show up as a gift to you for those of you who may have questions. So we can get unstuck. What do we have? No business credit history and poor personal credit. Where do I start to fix them both? You start with them both. Isn't that amazing? So definitely you do not want to live with negative items on your credit report. I am living proof. It can be done. I don't care what is on your credit report. With the right team and strategy, it can and will be removed, okay? So let's get you into some credit repair. Let's get you a blueprint to start building relationships with banks, as well as building out your business credit profile. But it starts with credibility. Your name, phone number, email, website. What is the name of your business? How is it named? What type of business do you have? What category did you place your business in? People don't even know. A lot of people have named and categorized themselves out of the game. I run across so many people like that. But the bank isn't going to tell you that. They're just going to give you a blanket generic denial, and hence this is why all of us are confused. So clean up your personal credit profile, get all the negative items off, rebuild it with some powerful high credit card limits, structure it out properly, setting yourself up for funding. Do not go and rebuild your credit with a bunch of consumer credit accounts like Red Spectrum, Credit Strong, and Rent Reporters, but we need to have you rebuild with real funding from a bank, real credit cards from a bank. There's a way to do that. So type 700. Let's see where you are. Let's hop on a free call with my team, schedule your appointment, show up ready. It's only 15 minutes, right? Because we have appointments back to back. It's to the point where I got two people just sitting there waiting and taking calls all day. All right. So this is a beautiful time for you to understand what's going on and what you need to do to move forward. Because it can be a complicated process, because the only reason I know, it's not like I'm a genius. The only reason I know it is because this is what I study. This is what I do. Right. But you in your regular life as an entrepreneur, you are entrepreneuring. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So you need to partner up with someone that's going to not only help you get rid of the items, but also get you to the funding side, right? It's not enough just to clean the stuff off the credit. Now you have nothing to prove your credit worthiness. Everything is gone. Now what? I run into those people. You see them, they got like 2 accounts. Like, yeah, I went through. I'm like, what happened to you? How you 45 years old and you have 1 credit card? Yeah, I went through credit repair. I'm like, that's why. And they got 18 inquiries. Banks are like, hey, Bad credit is just, let me stop using the word bad. Credit profiles with negative items on there is just as equally as bad as no credit. So the worst thing you can do is to go through someone and they get these negative items off, but then you rebuild in the incorrect fashion with low credit card limits. That's still going to result in denials. So get with a plan, type 700, let's hop on a call, see where you are and what can be done correctly. Trust me, trust me, it's worth it. All right. It didn't pay renewal for business license after 2 years. Is it best to change the name and start over? No. A lot of states allow you 3 years before they finally terminate. So call your Secretary of State, local's office and see, like, hey, it's been 2 years. What can I pay? Typically, they'll let you pay the renewal plus the penalty fees. Keep that history. If you can keep it, no, don't change the name. Reinstate it so you can have that history. Then we can make changes to it. We can change the name. We can, amend the category. Keep the history, okay? Yes. Same here. Fair credit. Hey, type 700. I have a team that's mad crazy when it comes to credit repair. We are not playing games because I'm not credit repair. So my relationship is B2B with them. So me and my mentees, we want to get funded. So I had to hire the best in the game to get this done. So we're not playing games. So if you're serious about getting this stuff off and moving forward in your life and stop playing, like I'm telling you, just get a blueprint and move forward. Another thing I'm starting to see, like when I'm watching my DMs, people are just listening to all sorts of different people. Don't do that because people have different strategies, right? I personally think I'm the best in the game. Why not? But what I'm saying is I see some idiotic things happening and that you're being told, and you cannot follow 2 blueprints at once. You just cannot execute on 2 plans at once. And on top of that, the information is free. So you have to be cautious. Okay, babes, I understand that this is the information age and we are expecting to get free things. The things that I know and that helped me get rid of my bankruptcy was not splattered out on the internet. It was just not. I had to pay. And thank God he was the first person I saw. So I was locked in. I did exactly what he said with no questions. And not only did I remove my bankruptcy in 5 months, I went and funded myself a little over $300,000. That was amazing. All right. I cried when the bankruptcy came out. Being under that debt bondage like that, man, I'm trying to free you too. Okay, how many trade lines before my paydex score? Now, when you're talking about a paydex score, guys, paydex score is what is known as your business credit score. All right, so you have Duns and Bradstreet, and then you have business. I want to say Equifax. I always get the 2 mixed up. I want to say it's business Experian. And Duns and Bradstreet that you can get up to an 80 paydex score. But when you go to Equifax, you can get up to a 450 or something like that. That's when you're in the, I want to say 480s, right? That's when you're in a good credit history, right? If it's anything below that, that means you're not A-tier credit score, paydex score, right? Here's the secret to that, right? I'm PG funding. So don't go Google what I'm saying here. Because at the end of the day, we get your credit together. We don't need to worry about a paydex score, to be quite honest. We going straight to the bank. But double check this information. I don't do net 30 funding. I do straight to the bank. Let's get your personal credit in order. We going straight to the bank. Yes, we build out your business credit and I give you lines to do that, but that's not going to determine whether we're going to get you $100,000 or $200,000 in funding. Those net 30 accounts really doesn't hold any weight. The only reason I will go do it is just so you can have it and you're building the business credit so it can look a little better, and possibly, and I do that for people who are in the car rental industry and they want to transfer cars into their business name. Other than that, it's maybe one or two little plays that is beneficial, but it's not beneficial for taking you to the bank. I don't want you to think that if we build out your business credit profile and your personal credit isn't where it needs to be, that we can go to a real bank and get real monies. I don't want you to confuse that. So back to what I was saying. Here's the trick. Experience. So with Duns and Bradstreet, you want to have at least 5 to 8 lines reporting. Now, guys, we're talking about net 30 accounts. Vendor credit. This isn't credit from a bank. 5 to 8 lines reporting on Duns and Bradstreet. You want to pay your bills before 30 days before it's due. That will get you up to 100 payback score. All right. Experian and Equifax. You want a minimum of 3 accounts reporting. If you have anything less than 3, you will have an F rating. I hope that answered that question. All right, 700, guys. The link isn't working. What do you mean the link isn't working? So DM me. Pretty sure it's working. So just type 700, you'll receive the link. I'll go back and double check it. Anyone else? Can anyone else confirm that? If that link, when you type 700, can you go test it to make sure that link is working? I'm pretty sure it's working, but I can be wrong. If not, we'll get the right one out to you. So poor credit profiles is the number one reason that people get denied. I don't want you to mistake and think that your credit score itself is going to land you on the funding side. Here's why. You can have one secured credit card, and I've seen this. I've seen people who just had, I got a best friend. She has no credit card. I could give you so many examples, but she's coming to mind because we were talking yesterday. I'm not saying any names, right? I'm not going to out you, okay? But she's an adult woman, and her father, she's just on her father's Amex card. Her score is 720 something. She does not have her own credit cards. Now, do you think she can go to Truist and get a $20,000 0% interest credit card? The answer to that would be no. So we need to not only clean our personal credit profile, we need to rebuild it with real funding from a bank. We need those credit card limits to be high. All right. We need at least 10 active open accounts. Really 6 if you have a strong profile and a strong history, but up to 10 that are open and active. Another thing you need to be aware of, that open and closed accounts are impacting your credit score and your overall rating and your fundability. All right. We need mix of credit. We need loans from a bank, and we need credit cards as well. So it needs to have a balance. We need history. 3 to 5 years history is what they like to see. That you've dealt and handled credit positively over time. All right. You haven't been applying for a lot of credit, so you don't have a lot of inquiries. These are the things they like to see. Here are some powerful things that's on your credit report that strengthens the overall power of it. Installment loans. Installment loans are extremely powerful. Auto loans, home loans, as well as student loan debt. That's positive. That's another thing. If you're someone struggling with high student loans, let a sister know. We can get that stuff forgiven. Not removed, but forgiven. 0 balance. So you keep the history and the lines. That is powerful. We will go and get you so much funding after that. Like it'll be up. Okay? Trust me. So if you're someone that has a poor credit profile, or you don't know where to start or where to go when it comes to business credit and funding, just type 700 Click the link, schedule an appointment with my team. Let's check your funding readiness and let's get funded. Do we have any more questions? Okay, we have another question. My business is not on the books yet, but my personal credit is my focus right now. Hey, type 700. Let's see where you are. Honestly, if you have a business or you're an aspiring entrepreneur, I would not only clean my credit, but I would just go ahead and just start the process. Why not? So monies is available to new entrepreneurs as well. Brand new LLC, 3 days old, 4 days old. You can go and get up to $50,000 to $100,000 in 0% interest credit cards. Brand new business, no documentation. If set up properly, because they have the right to ask for documents at any point. So I don't want to mislead you, all right? But if you're set up in the correct fashion and you're credible, truthful, and believable, you can go on and ask for funding and just use your personal credit profile as a PG and go get 50 to 100K, 0% interest. Do we have any questions? I think that's it. Let's do that. Let's do that. So type 700, schedule your appointment. Let's go get funding. Keep these questions going. It gives me life. I feel like I've created good karmic seeds for today. I've done my duty because we're here on earth to share our gifts with the world, right? And so this makes me excited. Type 700 is funding, loans, or grants. So I like to obtain 0% interest credit cards, funding from a bank, and low interest business lines of credit, right? I don't really recommend running out getting loans unless you have a solid business and you have something to do with that money at that moment when they stroke that check to you and fund you that money, that whatever you use that money for, that thing will yield a profit that will pay the debt that you borrowed. That is my general rule. If that's not the case, I would not just run out, go get a loan, and I don't have a plan for that money or a positive plan. You understand? A well thought out plan. Because the worst thing we can do is struggle our way through credit repair, rebuild you, go out and fund you $100,000 to $400,000 or more, and you find yourself in debt. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself. So the best thing to do is to get the funding, but not only get the funding, have a plan for it. All right? Type 700. Where do I find the link? So Fortune, type 700. A link will be sent to you in your DM. You click the link and book a call with my team. It's only 15 minutes of your time. Thanks for the clarification. You're welcome. I want you to be clear because there's so much false, fallacy stuff, fake stuff out here. I'm on the internet. I see these guys like they just saying anything you want to hear. Here go 3 banks that'll get you funding with bad credit. But how is that going to help you? Let's clean the credit, rebuild it, and let's go get funded for real. Let's not just go get a cash grab for $2,000, $3,000 and I'm in even more debt with even worse credit. No, let's clean it up. Let's take the time to think and strategize. Oh shit, now that my credit is clean and in position, I'm in position for $250,000. So now you can start thinking bigger instead of, let me just go and go get this cash advance loan for $3,500. You're not going far with that. Let's add some zeros to that $3,500. Let's get funded for real. Okay, let's go get funded for real. Let's level up for real. All right, I'm not here to play with you. Okay, like I said before, it's sometimes in our lives where a real thing will just come through for you. this is it. All right. So it will behoove you to type 700 and hop on that phone call and take 15 minutes of your time to check your funding readiness. You know, it's working. Just finished. Thank you for that. True. 700, guys. And a comma. Exactly. Let's add some zero. What are we going to do with $3,000? With high interest rates because we got bad negative credit. Where we going? What we doing? We ain't going far. I want to see my mentees walk with at least 100K, 6 figures. Now we're thinking. Now we can put pen in the pad. Okay, 1000. Okay, I'm going to take 5,000. Now we can go shopping. All right, and we got room to fuck up and come back and bounce back. You're not going far with $3,000. Let's go get funded for real, okay? Type 700. Tell your friends about me. We going crazy over here. We ain't playing. We got any more questions? Just cause an LLC a few months old, we need to talk. Need guidance. Hey, great. Type 700, Romero. Brand new LLCs are getting funded 50 to 100,000. The main thing we need to focus on is to make sure your personal credit is in position to do that. No problem. All right. And I love brand new LLCs because maybe you haven't screwed it up and we probably don't have too much stuff we need to correct. Because when you give the IRS the wrong information, that's what's slowing people up. You know, you got to go back and correct all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get in contact with the IRS, I'd be like, dude, you may as well just wait till you file your taxes. You know, sometimes because the IRS can be a pain. But there's ways around that too. 6 figures, that's what I'm talking about on this hump day. Well, don't. If someone is telling you they can get you funding with negative items on your credit report, and you're jumping to that, first off, check yourself. Like, why do I think this is okay? Obviously, I got some bad credit. Do I really need this money right now? Like, look at that person. Because I highly recommend you cleaning your credit up so you can go get some 6 figures in funding for real. Because say you can get approved with negative items and the interest rate is 20, 30, 40, 50%. That's expensive money. Well, we could just invest a little bit, clean our credit up, and go get 0% interest funding for years. We can go 12 months with no interest. I think that's a better strategy. My opinion, I could be wrong. Don't be a follower. You know, I already have. Okay. What about shelf corps? Let me explain what those corporations, those are aged corporations. That's totally fine. All right. You need to make sure that whomever you purchase it from, that it doesn't have any debt, that they have no old taxes. You have to do your due diligence on those businesses. Because when you acquire the business, you acquire its debt and liens and other issues. All right. That's first and foremost. Number 2, the only thing that's going to benefit you if you have a 2-year-old business. If you already have a 2-year-old LLC, you running out and getting a 10-year-old LLC with building business credit for the first time is not going to be any different than having a 2-year-old. The only difference between a new LLC and a 2-year-plus-old LLC, generally, you can get business lines of credit. Banks only extend those to companies that have been in business for 2+ years. So don't be sold on someone that's selling an aged corporation for you that's 10 years old, charging $10,000. You're not going to get any more funding than someone with a 2-year-old business, especially if you're just starting to build business credit. Like just want to let that be known, okay? So I don't sell trade lines and age corps and stuff like that. You know, I know people who do. if you want one. I'll send you right on over to them. All right. What else do we have? These are some good questions. Thank you, by the way. So as much as I'm giving to you, you're really giving to me. I so appreciate this. Thank you for participating in my Q&A. May God fund all of you 100K plus. All right. So good credit, but only little over 3 years credit history. That's good. 3 years is not bad. We can do some things with 3 years. Type 700. Let's see where you are. You can do some things with 3 years history. What's easier, age corps or LLCs? So age corps are LLCs. It can be an LLC, or it can be a C corp, or it can be an S corp. So it's just, the only thing is, it's a company that someone has held on to and aged over time. And now they're selling it because they had the company and they can sell it, and we could just transfer it over into your name, right? It's just 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. That's the only difference. Okay, I'm trying to move my LLC from one state to another. What's the best method? You probably don't want to. Okay, so that is what you call a foreign entity, right? So there's no transferring the company from one state to another. You can keep the age by opening up what is known as a foreign entity with that same company name in your new state, thus allowing you to keep the age from the previous state. Okay, that's what I would do. And you would just pay the annual fees in both states. I hope that helps. Does this work for properties, for nonprofits? Fortunately, there are some banks that just do not fund nonprofits. Most nonprofits go after grants. I have a good guy. I'm not the grant expert, but you know I got one on my team. So DM me, and I have a guy. He's real reasonably priced. He'll not only help you build out your nonprofit, but he'll help you fund it as well. So I like him a lot. He's not trying to hit people over the head. So I refer him out a lot to my mentees. Okay, if I don't have a 401k through my job, but large cash saved up, what should I do? You should put that in an IUL insurance policy, an insurance-bearing insurance policy. I have a guy for that too. Look at me. I'm being real good. By the way, these are just my friends. I'm not getting any kickbacks. All right. If I'm referring someone to you, that means they got gray hair. It's either they have gray hair and some real results. Like, I don't care about them people shining on the internet. Well, my IUL guy, he is doing real good on the internet, but still, he puts in work. So DM me and say, hey, I want the IUL person to set me up. Because let me tell you, I'm not the expert on this, so double check this. Now, business funding, that's what I do. But this here, you put it in an IUL, you can dump the monies in there, and then you can borrow against it. Let's say you said you got a lump sum. So let's just say $50,000. You take the $50,000, you put it in an interest bearing like 8% interest on that $50,000. You can then, if it's set up properly, go ahead and take a loan, get 80%. Take 80% of that money's out, right? Let's say 80%, there's 40,000. Okay, let's say you take 40,000 out, all right? And you go get a car or whatever. This is what people are saying, you being the bank. You're still receiving 8% on $50,000, not 40. Not 10. Isn't that amazing? That's what you guys do with that extra money. Instead of dumping it in banks and risking it elsewhere. All right? I hope that helps someone today. But babes, DM me. I got a guy, because all of those insurance guys are not created equal. They like to create insurance policies where they get the most benefit. You have to get with that type of insurance policy writer where a small percentage will go towards the actual death benefit, but the other will go and be used for insurance bearing benefits for you now. And I love his little saying. He says, take advantage of your health insurance, your life insurance policy while you're still alive. And trust me, that's a real thing. So type 700. Okay. How can you get a charge off removed, which is already paid? I hate that. That is so good, Max. Guys, do not pay debt without getting what is known as a paid for deletion letter first. Okay? Because if you do not do that and you pay the loan down, it will still be a collections account with zero balance, still negatively impacting you. You can call and act like they were supposed to give you a debt for a deletion letter. I got a way for you to possibly get it off, but I don't know how. Some stuff you just got to keep inside. I can't risk it with strangers. I've done it with my mentees, but give them a call. Say, hey, you were supposed to give me, you told me you'll get rid of this once I paid it off, and act like it, right? Act like they didn't do that. And now I'm trying to get a house and, you're affecting my credit. Okay, see if that works. If not, you're going to probably have to get credit repair. Sucks. I'm sorry. I hate when I see that. Plugs and connections. That's right. Plugs and connections. Hey, I'm just here to help you reach your personal financial potential. You know what I mean? I need to put that on the t-shirt. Let me watch what I say. People been stealing my 90K in 90 days. They be stealing my swag. You know what I'm saying? I be afraid to speak on here. Like, for real. Okay, you can't put it in the IUL. I don't know. So DM me. That's why I said I'm not the expert. Put it in whatever. Let the insurance guy I'm going to plug you with, who I work with, and I see results, and my people see results, and let him explain it to you. I'm business funding, okay? That's why I said the disclaimer was, this is not my wheelhouse, but to my understanding, here's what you do, okay? So anyone looking for that interest-bearing insurance policy, I got the hookup, okay? I'm not getting a kickback. I will give you homeboy's number, and he will tell you how it works. All right. There is a penalty if they are not. Okay, babes, don't say anything else about insurance to me. That's why I'm just going to hook you up with the expert. Do we have any business funding questions? 700? 700. No, and there's no penalty. Now, I've personally done that. You can borrow against your insurance policy. There is no penalty. I don't know what type of insurance policy. That's what I'm saying. So you have to get with the right person that's going to structure your insurance policy out in the correct fashion so that you're not penalized and all this other stuff, okay? All right? Now, if you have 401k, that sounds like a 401k type of situation. So don't listen to me on that. The guy, DM me, tell me, hey, I was on your live and I need the insurance expert to help me out. All right, you will not be penalized. You can borrow against your insurance policy, okay? All you need to do is read the book, What Would the Rockefellers Do? All right, and how they set up their legacy and used insurance policies to create generational wealth. And it's levels to it. Now, if you're interested in creating generational wealth, you talk to this guy too. All right? I'm business funding. All right, do we have any more? Now that I just had to make that be known. Now, any more business credit and funding questions? Do we have one more? Okay. You are not just the plug. You are the most cutest. Thank you. I needed to hear that today, So don't feel bad, right? Use a little flattery. You might get a discount, I don't work in an office anymore. So I can't wear my little suits and get compliments like, oh, hey, you look good today, girl. I like those shoes. So thank you for the compliment. Thank you for each and every last one of you for participating in this Q&A. I am going to leave this up because this is a good one. All right. Go back, listen to this. This is amazing. All I'm here is to help you reach your personal financial potential, however that may look, right? I want us to win. Type 700, hop on the call. Let's get funded. I love you guys. Happy hump day.